Mani, start.
Good morning, students. Welcome back to another live online webinar class for the intermediate students. I am Nagamani from Tsrjc, Wyra. After completion of the general characteristics and classification of the phylum Annelida, next we will enter into the type study of the earthworm. Okay, the earthworm also belonging to the phylum Annelida. We already discussed. In today class, we discussing about the total structure, means morphology of the earthworm, anatomy of the earthworm, and organ systems of the earthworm, like digestive system, circulatory system, and nervous system, excretory system, and reproductive system, and respiratory systems. So today we are going to discuss about the total anatomy of the earthworm. Okay, students. Here, the earthworm. Earthworm is a reddish brown terrestrial invertebrate that inhabits the upper layer of the moist soil. During daytime, they live in burrows made by burrowing and swallowing the soil. Here, we will observe the earthworm in the reddish brown color. We already seen in our surroundings. Okay, in which color, students? Reddish brown color. In the terrestrial habitat, it is a terrestrial invertebrate and it moists the soil during the daytime. It lives in the burrowing. Okay, burrows. It lives in the burrows. In the night time, it is a active. So the type of the organisms are called nocturnal organisms. Okay, in the daytime, they live in the burrows made by burrowing and swallowing the soil. What is the food of these earthworm, students? The soil and waste material like decaying leaves. Okay, like that. Okay, next. In the gardens, they can be traced by their fecal deposits known as worm castings. Okay, in our gardens, when we are in the rainy season or any other seasons, we will observe that the worm castings means here some more fecal matter like structures, means that fecal matter also nothing but the soil, but we are observing the castings. Okay, here the common Indian earthworm or the scientific name and common Indian earthworm is the Peritima. What is the scientific name, students? Peritima. And lumbricus also, they are the common earthworms which are presented in the India. Okay, students. Next, then we will enter into the habit and habitat. Okay, where these earthworms are live, we already discussed. It eats the soil and goes on eating the soil progressive downwards. The organic content are digested and absorbed in the gut, while the residual soil is discharged by its anus at the opening of the burrow as castings. They are called worm castings. We already discussed. It lives in a burrows at the daytime. So it is a nocturnal organism. We already discussed. It lives in a burrows and it discharges the fecal matter like the castings, like some soil material. They are the worm castings. We already discussed. Where it located? Where the earthworms are live in their burrows, the castings also located. We will observing the castings at that burrows. Next, we will enter into the morphology of the earthworm. Okay, what is morphology? The structures, the organs which are located and how it is made up, like the total material is undergoes the morphology. Here, earthworm has a long cylindrical body. We will observe in this picture. Here, earthworm have a long cylindrical body. The body is divided into more than 100 segments, more than 100 to 120 short segments we will observe, like first segment, second segment, third segment, fourth segment, like that. More than 100 to 120 segments we will observe. That segments are short segment are called the metamers. Okay, that is the special feature of the annelida. We will discuss it in the previous class, the metamerism. Okay, the short segments are called as the metamers. Here, this is the dorsal view and it is a ventral view. Means, for example, it is a earthworm. If you image this like a earthworm, this view is called dorsal view and it is a ventral view. These lateral views, okay, these are the lateral, means sides. These are the lateral and it is a dorsal and it is a ventral view. Okay, in the dorsal surface, we observe the dorsal blood vessel. Okay, the dark median portion is shown. All of you look into this picture, this line, all of you observe, it is a dorsal surface of the body and marked by a dark median dorsal line. The dorsal blood vessel, it is very, very important. Okay, what is that, students? Dorsal blood vessel. Okay, along the longitudinal axis of the body. Here we will observe in the clearly. And next, the ventral surface. We will observe in this manner. It is a ventral surface. Ventral surface have a numeral genital openings. Okay, male genital openings and female genital openings, because earthworm is a hermaphrodite. We already discussed in the previous. So here female genital openings is there and male genital opening is there. So what you understand here, the dorsal surface have a mid dorsal dark line is called dorsal blood vessel, and here in the ventral surface, here the openings are presented genital openings, male genital openings and female genital openings. This is some of the part of the morphology, and then we will enter into the segments. Okay, here we will observe the 100 to 120 of the small short segments we will observe in the earthworm. Here, anterior and consisting of the mouth and the prostomium. One second, I will show. Here, for example, it is a earthworm. The dorsal view, these are the segments. Okay, this is the dorsal view and it is a ventral view. Those are the lateral, sides are the lateral. Here the earthworm consisting a mouth on this anterior region. Here one pore-like structure is open. The pore-like structure is called mouth, and before the mouth we will observe here the hanging like structures. They are the prostomium. What is that, students? Prostomium, which is have a sensory nature. Which is have a sensory nature. It is a mouth and here hanging like structures like this. They are the prostomium. Okay, a lobe which serves as a covering of the mouth and has a wedge to force open cracks in the soil into which the earthworm may crawl. Okay, when earthworm like digging means తోడడం, ఓకే, అట్లా అంటాం కదా. సో హియర్ ఎర్త్వర్మ్ when it come to make a burrows into the soil, this prostomium used like a sensory organ. Okay, the prostomium is a sensory function. The first body segment is called peristomium. Here, this is the first body segment. It is called a peristomium. Peristomium have a one pore-like structure, that is nothing but the mouth. In the mouth region, we will observe that the hanging like structures are called the prostomium, which is used for the sensory when the earthworm in the burrows. Okay, the prostomium is a sensory function we already discussed, and here the first segment is called the peristomium, the buccal segment. Okay, after the mouth, what we'll observe? Not only in the earthworm, in humans also, what we'll observe? This is the mouth, and next we will enter into the buccal cavity. Okay, here also the buccal segment is presented, which contains the mouth. In a mature worm, segments like 14th, for example, it is a 14th segment, here 15th, and here 16th segment we will observe. Here one ring-like structure we will observe, that is nothing but the clitellum. What is that? The dark glandular tissue called clitellum, a ring-like structure. For example, it is a earthworm. For example, it is a 14th segment, 15th segment, and 16th segment. Here, some ring-like structure we will observe, that is nothing but the clitellum. What is the student? Clitellum. What is the importance of the clitellum? Means clitellum used for the reproduction. Where in the reproductive system we will discuss in a very deep. Okay, here next, thus the body is divisible into three prominent regions. Pre-clitellar means where the clitellum is presented. The before clitellum place is called pre-clitellar, and it is a clitellar portion, and it is a post-clitellar segment. Okay, for example, it is a clitellum, it is a pre-clitellum, clitellum, and post-clitellar region. But okay, here the prominent regions are we will observe based on the where the clitellum is presented in the earthworm. Okay. Okay, students. This is all about these segments. What we'll observe? The prostomium. Nothing to confuse. The prostomium and peristomium and clitellar regions. Okay. The next, the genital openings. Okay, this type of the openings we will observe in the ventral portion, means male genital openings and female genital openings. Here, 4 pairs of spermathecal apertures are situated on the ventrolateral side. Okay, of the intersegmental grooves, that is 5th to 9th segments. For example, I will show. Here it is a earthworm, and again these are the segments. For example, it is a 5th to 9th segment, 5th segment, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segment. Here spermathecal apparatus means it is a dorsal, it is a ventral. But here what we learn? Ventrolateral side means not a particular ventral region, not a particular lateral regions, but here we will observe the spermathecal apparatus. Okay, we will purely learn in the reproductive system, male reproductive system of peritoneum. Next, a single female genital pore is presented in the mid-ventral line of the 14th segment. Why we are using this 14th segment? Means in the 14th, 15th, 16th segments, the clitellum is presented. What is that, students? The clitellum is presented. So here a single female genital pore we will observe at the ventral line of the earthworm. In the 14th segment, the female genital pore. How many female genital pore? A single female genital pore we will observe. Okay. The next, a pair of male genital pores are present on the ventrolateral side of the 18th segment. Okay. In the 18th segment, okay, when we are completion of the 14th segment, means genital pore, female genital pore is there. When we travel into the downward, in the 18th segment, we will observe a pair of, means 2 genital pores of the male genital pores, ventrolateral side, not a particular of the ventral region, not a particular in the lateral region, middle of that portion. Okay, the ventrolateral side in the 18th segment, we will observe the male genital pores. And next, 17th and 19th segment, genital papillae are presented. Okay, genital papillae are presented. The next, we will enter into the locomotion. All of you recall annelidal locomotion. What we will discuss? Okay, in the locomotion, we will observe in each body segment except the first and the last clitellum, there is a row of S-shaped seta. Okay, we already discussed in the annelidal locomotion. Here, for example, earthworm, and each body segment except the first means peristomia and where the clitellar region means 14th segment, 15th, 16th, and the last segment of the earthworm means anal region, the last segment of the anal region. Except these segments, we will observe the S-shaped seta, the hair-like apertures we will observe for the locomotion of the earthworm. For the locomotion of the earthworm, it is used for embedded in the epithelial pits in the middle of the each segment. Seta can be extended or retracted. Their principal role in the locomotion. Where it is used, students, in the locomotion, the seta we will observe. Okay. Next, the anatomy of earthworm. Here, the body wall. We will discuss in the previous class. In the body wall, we observe the three layers. What are they? The body wall of the earthworm is covered by externally by a thin non-cellular cuticule below, which is epidermis. Means here the body wall have a three layers. How many layers? Three layers. What are they? Means here the cuticular and epidermis, and next one, last one, muscular layers. The three layers we will observe in the earthworm body wall. Here, cuticular layer have a collagen fibers which is used for the locomotion, and here epidermis is a single layered cells. It have a single layered cells, and here muscular layer have a two muscle layers. What are there? Circular and longitudinal muscles, circular muscles and longitudinal muscles. And innermost coelomic epithelium, the epidermis is made up of a single layer of columnar epithelial cells which contains secretory gland cells. Here innermost means columnar epithelium. We will discuss about the epithelium in the previous lessons. Okay, in second chapter, the epithelium is divided into different type of the epithelial parts. We will learn the type of columnar epithelium. We will learn. Okay, here the single layer like this columnar epithelium is presented. Okay, and it contains a secretory gland. Secretory gland secrete the secretions, the chemical secretions like sebum, like that. Okay, which is moist the skin of the earthworm because it produces a cutaneous respiration through the diffusion, we will know. So it is used for that. Okay. The next, okay students, muscular layer, okay, this is all about the anatomy, and next we will enter into the organ systems of the earthworm. The first system is very important, which is in our IT exam also. Here first one, the digestive system. What is the students? Digestive system. Digestive system of the annelids are made up with the tube within the tube organization. Means here two openings is there. Means mouth is there and anus is there. tube within the tube organization we will observe in annelid organisms as well as in the earthworm also. The alimentary canal is a straight tube. What is that? Straight tube. It runs from first to the last segment. First segment to last segment. Okay. The mouth open into the buccal cavity. Okay. Here, mouth open into the buccal cavity. In humans also, not only in earthworm, here mouth open into the cavity is nothing but the buccal cavity. Okay, where it locates? The mouth opens into the buccal cavity from first segment to third segment. First to third, we will observe the mouth at the buccal cavity. Next, these buccal cavity enter into the muscular natured pharynx. What is that? Muscular natured pharynx in the fourth segment. In which segment, students? Fourth segment. And next, a small narrow tube, the esophagus is presented. Means here pharynx leads to the esophagus. Esophagus in the fifth to seventh segments. From here to here we will observe. Okay. Next, continues in the muscular gizzard. What is that? Muscular gizzard. In the eighth segment we will observe the gizzard. What is the function of this gizzard? Means it helping the grinding the small particles of the food. Okay, it grinds the small particles like our stomach. Okay, so it ruptures the small particles of the food and decaying leaves. It acts like the grinding mill. Okay, the grinding mill. Next, then after the gizzard, we will observe the stomach. What is that? Stomach. Here, okay, sorry. Decaying leaves, grinding mill. The stomach extends from the segments 9th to 14th. Which segment, students? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here stomach we will observe. Next, the food of the earthworm is decaying leaves and other organic matter mixed with the soil. We already know about this. And next, the stomach neutralizes the humic acid present in the humus of the soil. Means the stomach is neutralized the food, because here humic acid means what? The acidic condition. Here acidic condition will be increased. It damages the total system. So it will be neutralized by the humus. Where it located? In the soil, which is the food of the earthworm. Okay. The next, here in the stomach we will observe the calciferous glands. Okay, here we will observe the calciferous glands and neutralize the humic acid present in the humus of the soil. The glands which are present in the stomach, it neutralize the acidic condition in the earthworm. Okay, next next we will enter into the intestine. Intestine continues from the 15th segment to the last segment. 15th to last segment. One pair of conical intestinal caecae, 26 segment we will observe. It presented in the 26 segmented. What we observe? The conical intestinal caecae. Okay, the internal median fold is observed at the intestinal, that is called typlosole. What is that, students? The typlosole. It is the folding like structure, means the folds are observing like this. Okay, the foldings. What is the use of these foldings? Means it increases the area of the absorption. Okay, it increases the area of the absorption. These folds are presented in the intestinal region. We will observing here. All of you look into this picture. Those are the folds which are used for the observing the surface area. Next, the alimentary canal open into the anus. Okay, last when we start from the mouth to anus, because it is a tube within the tube organization. The earthworm also show that first opening is the mouth and alimentary canal last opening is the anus. Once again repeat, the mouth leads into the buccal cavity. Segments also important, first to third, and next the buccal cavity is enter into the muscular pharynx, the fourth segment. Next it is the tube-like structure is presented, the esophagus, and esophagus enter into the muscular gizzard. It like a grinding mill, act like a grinding mill. Next after the gizzard we will observe the stomach. It have a some of the gland, calciferous gland, which neutralize the humic acid, means acidic condition. Next the intestine present 15th to last segment. Here we observe the some holdings which are used for the increase the observing area. Okay, the next last pore is the anus, which is used for the removing of the waste decaying matter or excretory matter from the body. This is all about the digestive system of earthworm. Okay, next we will enter into the blood vascular system, means nothing but the circulatory system of the earthworm. Okay, here peritoneum exhibits a closed type of vascular system. Which type, students? Closed type circulatory system. We will discuss in the previous class. Closed type means here blood travels in the blood vessel. Blood passes through the blood vessels. So the type of system is called closed type circulatory system. And here the circulatory system consisting of blood vessels, capillaries, and 4 pairs of hearts. How many pairs? Here all of you look into this picture. Here we will observe the 4 pairs of the hearts, means 8 hearts. Okay. And also observe the blood vessel. Blood vessels, here dorsal blood vessel is there and ventral blood vessel is there. And here we will observe not only for the lateral side, ventrolateral side we observe the ventrotegmentary vessel and subneural vessel at this region, and lateral esophageal hearts also presented here in this picture. First major important one is the dorsal vessel. What is that? Dorsal vessel. Here heart connect the dorsal and ventral blood vessels. Dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessels we will observe here. It is in the blue color, it is a ventral vessel, and it is red color, it is a dorsal vessel. Okay, here dorsal blood vessels shows the contractions like heart. It shows the contraction when circulates the blood. The DVV means dorsal blood vessels get contractions and blood circulating into the total body. Okay, it circulates the total body by the contractions, and blood vessels supply blood to the gut region, means alimentary canal region, mouth, stomach, like that, the gut region, and nerve cord, dorsoventral nerve cord we will observe at the nervous system. The next slide. Okay, nerve cord and body wall also. That is the students body wall, and here also muscles presented we will learn. Okay, here once again repeat, peritoneum exhibit a closed circulatory system, and it consists of blood vessels and 4 hearts and capillaries. Capillaries means what? The small portions which are presented in the blood vessels, which is used for the circulation of the blood one place to another place. And here heart connects the dorsal blood and ventral blood vessels, and the dorsal blood vessel have the contracting nature, which is used for the supplying of the blood to the total body parts. In this diagram we will observe the dorsal vessel, and these are the lateral hearts, and here supraesophageal vessel is presented. This is also important, and lateral esophageal hearts are presented, and these are the vessels, total vessels present in the circulatory system. Okay, another one here, hemoglobin is dissolved in the plasma. Okay, it is not located at the blood cell, it dissolved in the plasma. And blood glands also important for 2 marks question, present in 4th, 5th and 6th segment. We will observe in this manner. Okay, here blood glands are presented at 4th segment, 5th segment and 6th segments. Okay, what are the blood glands? Okay, the next, here the blood glands are produce the what students, here blood glands produce the blood cells and hemoglobin. Okay, that is the importance of the blood glands. Blood glands produce the hemoglobin and blood cells. Okay, here this is the total about the blood vascular system of the peritoneum. The next, we will enter into the excretory system of the earthworm. What is that? Excretory system of the earthworm. Here, the excretory organs or the coiled tubules are nothing but the nephridia. What is that, students? The nephridia is the major excretory organ present in the earthworm. Okay, it is a coiled tubules, means coiled tubules. Here, for example, the funnel-like structure we observe at the anterior region of the nephridia, and it is a coil-like tubule we will observe. This is nothing but the nephridia. These nephridia are 3 types. How many types, students? 3 types. What are there? Septal nephridia, integumentary nephridia, and pharyngeal nephridia. Sorry. Septal nephridia present on both the side of the intersegmental septa of segment 15th by 16th to the last. Here in the 15th to 16th segment and the last segment also we will observe the septal nephridia both the side of intersegmental septa. For example, here it is a one segment of the earthworm. Here we will observe like this. This is the septal nephridia. It is a one segment and this is a another segment. Like this we will observe the septal nephridia. Okay, 15th to 16th and up to last segment. And then the integumentary nephridia. What is that? Integumentary nephridia. Integument means what? The body, like skin. Okay, the body wall attached to the inner body wall from 3rd segment. Okay, here 3rd segment to last segment we will observe. Okay, next they open to the exterior on the body surface by the nephridiophores. Okay, here the nephridiophore is presented at the integumentary nephridia. They open to the exterior means outer side by the nephridiophore. The type of nephridia are called as open type nephridia. Open type nephridia. Okay, next the pharyngeal nephridia. Then we will enter into the pharyngeal nephridia. Here present as a 3 paired ducts in the segments 4th to 5th and 6th. Here we will observe these orange colored tubes and red colored coils. All of you look into this picture. Here 4th, 5th and 6th. They open into the buccal cavity and pharynx, means the pharyngeal nephridia open into the gut region. Which one? Gut region. Okay, here then we will recall the different type of the nephridia present in the peritoneum. They are the fundamentally similar structure, but they are different type we will observe. Nephridia with the nephrostome are called open nephridia. Okay, nephridia with the nephrostome are called open type nephridia. But next, and nephridia which do not have nephrostomes, they are called closed nephridia. Nephridia with the nephridiostomes are called open. Without nephridiostome called closed type. Okay, next to nephridia that open into the exterior through nephridia force are called exonephric nephridia. This is, don't confuse about this. It is a little more difference between this nephridia. Okay, I will repeat. The nephridia that open to the exterior. Exterior means outer side through the nephridia force, having a pore, nephridia pore, called exonephric nephridia. But in some cases, the nephridia which are open into this gut region, they are the enteronephric nephridia. Okay, nephridio porto బయటికి ఓపెన్ అయ్యేవి ఏంటనా exonephric nephridia. But some nephridia like pharyngeal nephridia, they are open into the gut region. Okay, we will already discuss about buccal cavity and pharyngeal region means gut region. They open into the gut region. The type of nephridia are called enteronephric nephridia. But what is the use of this enteronephric nephridia? Means these are maintain the homeostasis. What is that? The osmoregulation, which are used for the balancing of the body materials. Okay, balancing of the body material means like salt, water, like that. Okay, if even in case it have a most important material or water, they will absorb by this gut, by the enteronephric nephridia. They open into the gut region. But exonephric nephridia open into the outer side by the nephridio pore. That is the difference between these nephridias. Once again, read in your textbooks for clear, better, important also. Okay, student, love you understand? Open type, closed type, and exonephric nephridia and enteronephric nephridia. Okay, this is all about the excretory system of the earthworm. 3 types of the nephridia: septal nephridia, integumentary, and pharyngeal nephridia. By the location of this nephridia, the type of names are arrayed. Okay, next. Okay, students, next we will enter into the nervous system of the earthworm. What is that? Nervous system of the earthworm. What is the major organ? The nerve. What is the major coordinating organ? We will discuss in the previous class. Means it consisting a nerve ring. What is that, students? Nerve ring. Here nerve ring is presented around the pharynx and double ventral nerve cord. Around the pharynx and double ventral nerve cord. Here we will observe. Okay, so here nerve ring along with the double ventral nerve cord, they are the major important nerve organs which perform the coordination between the organs. Okay, here the cerebral ganglia along with other nerves is the ring integrate sensory impact as well as command muscular responses of the body. Here cerebral ganglia also presented. Ganglia means the mass which is combined with the bunches, that is nothing but the ganglia means gang. Okay, here the cerebral ganglia is used for the coordination between the body, the muscular responses. Okay, here in the earthworm, the cerebral ganglia used for the which purpose? The commanding the muscular responses. Okay, then next, the sensory system consists of receptor cells. What is that? This is also very, very important. Receptor cells means the chemical action is there. Okay, which one? The chemical action is there. The sensory system consists of receptor cells that receive the light, touch, and chemical stimuli. Because it did not have any brain, spinal cord, well-developed organs in the earthworm. It is a primitive organism. So how it can manage their touch or light or chemical stimulus? By the receptor cells. Okay, it maintain the light and touch and chemical stimulus. Mate is the poisonous in the soil, it is harmful to the earthworm. So it is receptor cells are used for the chemical stimulus, main sensory system coordination. Okay, and these sense organs are located mostly in the anterior part of the body. Where it located means that is the cephalization. We already know about that. What is that? The sense organs are located mostly in the anterior part of the, means anterior part is here. It is a anterior part, it is a posterior part of the any organism. So most of the sensory organs are presented at the anterior region. Here once again, all of you look into the picture. Here it is a nerve ring, very important, because in the previous years we have the dissection, the nerve ring dissection, but you are very lucky, it did not have any dissections, only the diagrams are there. Okay, here the nerve ring, and it is a cerebral ganglia which coordinate one and each other and control the earthworm movements, and also double ventral nerve cord also presented with the subpharyngeal ganglia. Okay, it is very important. Okay students, next we will enter into the reproductive system of the perithema. What is that? Reproductive system of the perithema. Here earthworm is a hermaphrodite. Reproductive system means what? Reproductive system means the generating system. What is that? The producing the offsprings. Here reproductive system, earthworm is a hermaphrodite. What is that? Hermaphrodite. It is a hermaphrodite, means it have a male organs and female organs and the single organism, means female genital organs and male genital organs are presented at the single earthworm we will observe. Okay, 3 or 2 pairs of testes, one pair each present in the 10th and 11th segments. Here we will observe these are the testes. Okay. Here blue color dots like structures at this region, one pair of the testes we will observe at the 10th and 11th segments. And next their vasa differentia run up to the 18th segments. Here the vasa differentia, the tube like structure which travels the sperm at the breeding season. The vasa differentia runs up to the 18th segment. Next, where they join the prostatic glands. Prostatic glands means the prostate gland. Prostate gland means what? They are the accessory glands. They located at the humans also. Okay, the name also same, prostate glands, which are controls and supports to the reproductive system. Okay, the 2 pairs of seminal vesicles, 11th and 12th segments, which spermatogonia mature in spermatozoa. Here also 2 pairs of seminal vesicles we will observe at the 11th and 12th segments. Okay, here the spermatogonia means it is a immature sperm cells. It have a immature sperm cells, but it after it to perform into the maturity, they will modified into the spermatozoa. Okay, the common prostatic and spermatic ducts open to the exterior by a pair of male genital pore on the ventrolateral side of the 18th segment. All of you look into the 18th segment. Here common prostatic and spermatic ducts. Okay, prostatic and spermatic ducts, common prostatic and spermatic ducts are open into the male genital pores at the ventrolateral side of the 18th segment like this. Okay, now here they will
Please
open.
conclude.
Okay, students, in today's class we discuss about the total anatomy, but some more female reproductive system and fertilization and cocoons economical important is there. We will continue in the tomorrow class. Okay, thank you.